Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Arena of Valor World Cup 2018, the boot camp, which is happening in Thailand right now as we get prepared for the fourth series for best of 3 of the day between Team Thailand and Team Chinese Taipei. The main teams are clashing head to head. I am Brian Husky Ng, and this is Gideon Fatal 5 Way Q.
Now it's going to be interesting to see how these teams actually play it out. We've seen the first TPE team, wildcard team, actually playing it out. Let's see if this upcoming Team Chinese Taipei actually have a different sort of play style in comparison, and maybe we'll get a good idea of what like the overall Chinese meta is.
Yep, the wildcard team from TPE put out a really good show by reverse sweeping Team Vietnam in the first series of the day after dropping the first game. So the expectations should be really high for the main representatives as well. We'll see how they put out the performance. But of course, Team Thailand, their wildcard team, kind of really flunked out during their own series against Team Korea. So let's see what the main team has to bring to the table.
I definitely expect a lot more out of Team Thailand here, and I think this is going to be a more even matchup in comparison to the wildcard team to Korea there. But we're just going to have to see how this actually plays out. Overall today, it seems like the overall standard is there. Everybody kind of has a lot. The most interesting thing is the differentiation of where they think the marksman role actually is.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's usually they use Joker for one or two things, either he goes in the mid lane or just in general just sticks to getting picks.
Yeah,
just goes up, cat and laughter, just gets a pick, stops the person right there, and then after that just goes straight in. And I think that's where it kind of just settles, like what marksmen are the best and what are they going to be used for.
Yeah, and so far we haven't seen a mid lane Joker. He has been the roamer for all the games that he was picked. I don't think that's going to change because there's so many better mid laners right now.
Absolutely.
You have Tulen, you have Liliana. Joker is going to get blown up if he ever goes mid, despite having the wave clear. And the mid lane meta has been shaped to a point so static that you don't even see Preda anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of difficult here because, like, even though you know that Preda is like, oh, really good at wave clearing, wave clear super quick. She can be immobile before level 4, and it becomes really difficult to do much at that particular situation.
Yes.
That's why Talon is usually the optimal choice. Right? He can wave clear, but he can also roam really quick. He can use one of his abilities down the river, and then by the time he gets to the lane, he's already able to unleash it again. But let's look at this picks and bans so far from both sides. Teamy and as well as Omen. And finally, Superman, permaband.
Permaband, Superman. So far we have, if I'm not mistaken, 8 games, and Superman has been out for 8 games.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, we can see him by the end of the day. But
no,
so far,
I don't ever want to see Superman. I mean, even they make it like such a big thing. Oh, we finally nerfed Superman. No, you have not nerfed Superman. That's not his main issue.
Yeah, that's not his main issue. Everyone being banned out by TPE. So let's see what the last one is going to be. It could be a Malak, it could be a Flash, could be a Tulen, could be a Xenio. There are a plethora of choices. Thailand goes for the Malak ban. Potentially the Malak ban. Only 5 more seconds of the clock. That should be locked in. So the deck is on, the cards are on TPE's hands right now to see how they are going to shape this first pick.
Absolutely, and I think Malak overall really good ban here. Don't really appreciate that at all.
Blue team's turn to pick.
Okay, so this puts them in a really interesting position here. What they want to take is really important. And Daniel really was going to bring that up. It's going to be the first pick choice.
Yep, exactly. And when you pick up Xenio, it means that Tulen is definitely going to go over to TPE. You don't really first pick that hero anyways. So TPE, they know what they're doing. They know that this ban is going to force Thailand's hand, but it doesn't really matter too much if you don't take out the Dubu, you take out the Xenio. Dubu will go over to Thailand in place of the Xenio instead. But regardless of that, Tulen is going to be locked in by Chinese Taipei as well as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and these are going to be the greatest 2 picks that you can actually get here, because not only do you secure a mid lane, you also secure a really good engager, and this is going to really benefit the rest of the team. So we're just going to have to figure out what they're going to bring out next here, especially for Team Thailand. They've got quite a few options, and I think overall Thailand has been bringing up a couple of marksmen themselves. We've seen Joker many times. Oh, well, it looks like they might be hovering over both.
Look at the smile. Alright, they lock in the Jungle Violet despite the lack of success rate so far throughout the day, but there is the max for maximum efficiency. Hopefully they can pull that out, but that leaves Alice open for TPE. They still have a lot of picks that they can go for. There is the the Ryoma available for Chinese Taipei if they want to select that.
I do feel like they should leave Ryoma for the last pick right now. They can easily go for a tank here or something like Chakna or Zephyr. Even Zephyr is pretty good. I would agree with that. I can definitely see that coming about. But Alice is kind of a must here.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a must. I think ever since, was it Chinese Taipei's wildcard team after the Alice showcase for the very first time in today's bootcamp, Alice has been a priority pick for most of the teams, and Chinese Taipei, they will lock that in, Zephyr's and Alice, which means Ryoma is still a pretty decent choice, but I think it's going to fit better for Team Thailand because of the jungle Violet. But we'll see how they work this out. There's still a lot of window for them to work on, especially in the middle lane. There's the Liliana available, and worst comes to worst, you can fall back to the Flash.
Yeah, and it's kind of awkward here, especially for Team Thailand, because they probably want to get Flash for themselves here, but if they try to go in and they get locked out by the Alice, it could be really detrimental.
Yeah, but why would you? But there's something that brings out a bit of my questioning, which is why would they decide to lock in the Jungle Violet as the third pick? Normally you leave it for the final pick, or at least the final two pick, depending on which side you're on. But it seems like Thailand prioritized that a lot. So hopefully they make that work. You can look at the smirk on their face. They might just lock in this Grug. Fingers crossed. Yes, okay. They lock in the Grug, they lock in the Liliana. It's all about picking off TPE. TPE having none of that, the Tara should be a great counter as the front line for the team.
Yeah, being able to tank most of the damage in front and still be able to dish out a decent amount, a lot of PL coming up from Tara. I think this is going to be a pretty decent choice, especially for TPE here. But overall, Ryoma is not going to get picked, really unfortunate. Mallet being banned out as well as Lubu, and I think this is kind of why both Mallet and Lubu are prioritized to be prioritized in this bans in many of these situations, because it would fit exactly in both of these team compositions. A lot of peel, a lot of damage, decent mobility, but the biggest fact is that they dish out so much, even though they are big frontliners. Yeah,
definitely. And if TPE locks in this Tara, they have to. This is where the max pick comes into play. He has the healing reduction from the passive every time he deals damage, so that is going to be a really big factor when it comes to staying at the front line. It seems like Remix will be on the max. He takes Execute as well, which means this guy really wants to do a lot of damage in lane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Low cooldown on the Bionic Blender. There is the smooth moves to gain extra resistance. There's the lift off for this global kind of pick off or engage. But most importantly is the healing reduction. You want to land that onto the Zephyrs, you want to land that especially onto the Tara, which relies a lot on the ultimate to keep herself alive.
Yeah, just depending on how they want to split their lane up, I'm expecting Zaniel to either go top Darkslayer lane if he has to, but I kind of feel like Max can be just left on his own as well.
Yeah,
they can easily just chill out, go for a 1-3-1 push, but even then, rotations coming in from TPE could be pretty big here, because Max might be the big priority target if he decides to go for that split push and roll.
And I think I can kind of see how Thailand wants to play this. The Max can go in with the lift off. The moment he lands, you have the Xenio following up with the Angelic Splendor. That is two global engage tools for Team Thailand. So Chinese Taipei have to be prepared for that.
Yeah,
in case it ever happens. As you can see, both teams are definitely ready. The coaches should be shaking hands really soon to signal the start of the game, and actually they did, and which means we are ready to go on to the Antares battlefield. Team Thailand versus Team Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, both teams evenly spreading out really nicely. Sending Zaniel down to the bot side of the map straight away to protect Might Buff is probably going to be a good trade. They're probably going to trade each other's Might Buffs, as we've seen the entirety of today. It doesn't look like they're actually going to defend it on their side.
Oh yeah.
They've already started moving out. The mid lane's being pushed out as quickly as possible. Talon's doing a very good job here, but there goes Might Buff all the way from the red side, and now the red side will steal the blue side.
Yeah, the Sunshine does not connect, but both teams will give up that Might Golem over to their enemies, and it should be fine considering how this is gonna work out. But the early hood lands onto Yuzon. Tara will leap away, should be safe from that. That's really patient considering that I'm pretty sure Yuzon didn't level up any of his skills until that happened, so which kind of kept her safe. But with this Grug already putting himself to work early on.
Yeah, he's just looking to cheese people already. He's just standing around the jungle. He isn't really looking for much farm. He's just looking for the opportunity to actually hit somebody over. So he's just standing in the perfect position. He actually might be able to pull this off early. Ooh, predictions.
Yeah,
the prediction.
Too much.
You know, he's thinking 3 steps ahead of his opponent, thinking if he were to use his flicker, where he would stand.
that's probably that's probably
Yes!
yes.
Oh wait, he actually does get the pick up, but it's already level 4. This might actually be quite bad if they rotate properly as the rest of the team manages. They don't react to it, but it was a good attempt.
And this guy is just hanging out there. You can see his starting item. He started with the boots, working towards that Gilded Greaves. There's no surprise he won the extra resistance on the ground.
Oh!
That one!
Oh, that was
land.
a prediction.
Yeah, that was a prediction. That was actually really close. So the TPE, they have to be really careful. The Shining Light lands onto Star. Zenio goes in with the death from above. He predicts where Moss is. The Grug gets caught out. There's Wonder Woman from the back. There's the flicker, the lightning strike. Moss should be able to go down. Yes, Benny takes first blood.
Wait a minute.
But he gets blown out by Liliana. There's 007 on the guns. Cherie coming as the Zenio. The tactical roll from the Valor still there. MeMarkz on the Liliana. Wiz gets caught out. Sends back to base. 007 shoots him down. 2 kills for Team Thailand.
Oh my goodness, that's so unfortunate. Even though they did get the kill off of Grag, but they just totally forgot about MeMarkz, who just came into the side. God, but I just didn't expect the range coming at the very end.
Oh yeah, they completely forgot about damage dealer, and Thailand just blew up TPE. So not really a good trade, despite them taking out Grag, which is going to stay relevant regardless. Now looking for another hook. This one lands on the Star. Star gets caught out. There's the leap of the Fox Star. Take a lot of damage. There's a Thunderbird. It lands onto MeMarkz. The execute does not come through, but Neil dealing a lot of damage. Angelic Splendor from Cherie to keep his Liliana safe. No casualties this time.
Kinda awkward there. I do feel like the combo Liliana was trying to pull off didn't exactly work.
I think it was going for the Foxtrot and then...
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but then it didn't come up and straight away he went to the unpredictable, so that was kind of like, huh, interesting.
Well, but I think he kind of miscalculated the damage a bit. There is a remix against Yuzon. The healing reduction coming into play for a while. Max at level 5. Still haven't seen the lift off yet. No opportunities for that. The Abyssal Dragon, I think this is the longest the first Abyssal Dragon has survived the entire day, because every time he counts at 2 minutes, he's just
dead.
Yeah, just dead. So right now we see Max against Yuzon. There is the Smooth Moves remix. There is the Static Shock, a lot of healing reduction, but Yuzon is still hitting a lot with the ultimate. Actually, with that do the Hissy Fit, and there is the shield from the Wonder Woman. 3 members from both teams want to take contest.
Oh,
the
the
Dragon,
zoning.
the Wolf Devourer. This zones out TPE, Abyssal Dragon gets resetted. That is a lucky dragon to survive for so long. Still very resetted, yeah. Having a great time.
It's actually kind of unsettling, the fact that it's like, oh, he actually gets a pick here, but then it's not going to be enough as the rest of his team isn't in position to actually capitalize on that, but doesn't even blow a talent. They immediately blows Benny's talent straight away, so I think that's good for something at this point. I mean, losing the heal, not the big. Oh,
Wait,
boy!
Let's call out the Sword and Shield, trying to survive. There is the place of submission, but not enough. Cherie takes down Wonder Woman, and that means a free Abyssal Dragon for Team Thailand. Unless TPE can pull something off, no, they cannot. He's fit to zone out the rest of Team Thailand. Here comes Angelic Splendor. Whoa, Devourer onto Neil. He gets sucked back. 007 shoots him down. Star getting called out once more, trying to run away. The hook does not come through. And the flicker has to be used by Star, which means Thailand now can go for the tower. There's a 2-man stun, and 007 on an ultimate spree. Benny trying to run away. There is Wonder Woman with the last of troop, but he has to retreat.
Oh, they gotta get rid of this tower.
They have to exit from the fight, and that means first tower going over to Team Thailand.
Finally, oh my goodness, they left that tower up for so long to go for kills. It was starting to become really uncomfortable, like, oh, you're gonna get rid of that tower, or you might even lose somebody trying to get out there. But Thailand's actually doing a really good job here, using Grag really efficiently, landing those hooks, and I think that's like the most important part. The moment you choose Grag, you've got to land those hooks. Oh,
there we have
now Yuzon.
The smooth move, Yuzon not really in good spot, leaps away. There's a Hissy Fit, the hook, a bit short. And the Tara should be safe from that, but so far 5 kills over to Thailand, and whereas TPE only has 1. Let's see what I can do with it. There is the last of troop, but Wiz gets an extra tower shot in the face. Not really worth the effort right there. Interesting.
Rather interesting to bother even trying to go for a harass with the lasso there, because it'll pretty much just pull you forward, but it's not going to do much at that position. You're just going to get that out. So rather interesting what they're trying to do there. So now the rest of the team's actually going to go. Abyssal Dragon coming up in 25 seconds. I'm expecting them to play around the bot side of the map after the Might Golem, just to ensure if they do get a pick, they can secure another Abyssal Dragon for themselves.
Finally, a decent a decent game for Jungle Violet. I think Jungle Violet only won one game so far. This might just be the second one in the hands of Team Thailand. We just see how this is going to work out. Abyssal Dragon will come online right now. We'll see how Team Thailand prioritizes that objective, because now almost 7 minutes into the game, Yuzon can't really do much against Remix. There's the healing reduction, just wreaking havoc on the Tara, and true damage coming out from Static Shock as well. It's causing a lot of trouble. Moss trying to look for another pick. He's gonna walk into Neil. Oh, the Death Flurry comes in. Moss gonna get caught out. There's his if it has to flicker away. The Sunshine comes through. He's gonna hook Neil back. That from above to disengage from Neil, but there's the Angelic Splendor from the Zenio. Max just having his time. No lift off yet. Power of friendship from Alice. Both teams will disengage from the Abyssal Dragon once more.
Oh my goodness, this is going absolutely nowhere. Both teams really understand what they want to do with these objectives here. They're trying to make the plays, but it's just kind of difficult, especially when they have the vision, when they have the pushing power and clearing potential to really just get rid of the wave, immediately start for the roam, and just be super careful for each and every brush. I think that's kind of the issue here. The side lanes push so evenly that it's too difficult to actually create any pressure. The only amount of pressure we've seen is on the top lane. That's because they invested a lot of resources to actually take the fight up there. So that's kind of unfortunate here, because that only means that Max isn't going to be able to split push like how he wants to and get free towers. Oh,
they might just get out MeMarkz and 007. They are very vulnerable. 007 gets engaged on the Sunshine. The hissing fit shut down for Stars, and MeMarkz has to leap away. Now Grok coming over to the bot side to provide backup. We'll see how this is going to pan out. There's a lot. The Shining Light did a lot of damage onto the side of TPE. I think TPE, they should just go to the Abyssal Dragon. No point staying around, and they're doing just that. Max now joining the fight in the middle lane. Neil soloing the Abyssal Dragon. Here comes the lasso through into a Sunshine. Two-man stun. Wiz uses the Bracelet of Submission to stun on the members of Team Thailand. If Abyssal Dragon goes over the TPE, and they should be able to get themselves a breathing room.
Yeah, I think this tower is going to go straight over to Neil. No one's actually contesting him. They played that really well, forcing the enemy team, forcing Thailand to actually respond to the mid lane, to actually protect their team members. But in response, they're going to lose a lot of minions down on the bot side of the map, and even the tower, thankfully, for that one siege minion.
And they read Thailand's movement really well. They know that the Mind Bomb is going to come online. 007 is going to go for that, and they just camped there, and they got MeMarkz in the fray as well. Even though Liliana survived, they still got 007 regardless. Here comes the Shining Light. Yuzon going for the engage. There's the Hissifit and the Sunshine. The knockup onto Yuzon. Yuzon has the ultimate. He should be able to survive from that. No hook from Moss for now. It's on cooldown. Star waiting in the wings. Will Thailand take this fight? There is Zephys on the side, on the river as well. Thailand is going to retreat from this, but it seems like Reem is going to walk into through. There's the Bionic Planner, has to move away. The hook connects on the Neo, but the World Devourer does not. Angelic Splendor from Cherie to join the fray. And again, really good disengage from TPE.
And now TPE immediately disengaging, seeing that they're actually going to profit off of this. And they're going to quickly get Yuzon on the top side of the tower.
Oh, he gets hooked! Oh, leap! Is he going to get CC up? Can
Wait,
he
he's
survive?
alive!
Nope,
Oh,
does not
no.
survive. Tactical roll from 007 will ensure that he goes down, but now TH has to retreat. The flicker comes in for Star, but MeMarkz is deadly
Wait
from the
a
box.
minute.
He takes down the Tulan, and there's a really big ball of energy making its way towards Benny. No, it's not.
He can actually kill.
Yep, and the friendship saves both Benny and Neil. TPE just a bit overextending too much. The
Oh
hook.
wait, he just missed ever so slightly. How did that not hit? That's going to be another tower going over to Team
Oh no,
Thailand
but
here,
Benny
MeMarkz.
not really safe. The leap of the Fox a bit too far forward. Fox shot does not connect. Here comes Bracelet of Submission. The smooth moves from Remix. Not smooth enough. He gets taken down and win. Will send him back to base.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of significant damage. Oh, but Grak is actually going to be able to defend there, but the Darkslayer is going to go over to Thailand here. It's going to be really huge for them here, and that was such a big fight for them, especially for Thailand, punishing TPE so hard off of that, even though they were making the proactive play.
Yeah, absolutely. But Wins has been a really big playmaker so far. She set up the bot wave, actually manages to 1v1 the Max, and almost and forces Moss back. At the moment, Moss goes for the defense. He just engages onto the ground and takes him down to less than 50% health. TPE now have the bottom lane space created, they're going to get the second Abyssal Drake for themselves.
Yeah, now they're going to be pushing towards that high ground tower, and that's going to be kind of the pinnacle point of this fight here. But it looks like Benny's kind of in an awkward position. Can't really do much here. Tara is in the wings. Doesn't look like they're going for a flank. They're going to take their time, regroup once more, and then go for the fight. But MeMarkz in the brush, being sneaky as ever, looking for the hook.
Yep, but TPE, they should be able to figure out what to expect at this point. Not really heading into the brush without proper backup. The hook whips in between of 3 members of TPE. Max, I want to see a lift off coming in from Remix, but so far he hasn't been pulling that off yet. No lift off plus and Jerry Splendor synergy so far. And now Thailand want to focus their attention to the bot side, but the top side is under siege. Yuzon will take down the second tier turret, and TPE are just outmaneuvering Thailand.
Absolutely, I think Thailand here that's kind of their lacking point. They're just struggling to actually get one of these important wait, hold on.
Yuzon?
Control here.
Yeah, Yuzon finally uses the ultimate. Cherie realizes he cannot take this fight. He has to retreat. But Moss losing a bit of effectiveness. That hook misses again. Hits it fit to zone out the rest of Thailand. And the Alice ultimate is just a pain in the back to deal with. MeMarkz brush. Not really in a good spot. The Shining Light actually lands. But Star is there, wins with Last of Truth. Will he go for an engage? No, he disengages immediately. The hook gets sidestepped once more. TPE wants the middle lane tower. Here comes MeMarkz, goes in with Live for the Fox. The Fox shot does not connect. But there's a World Devour onto 2. Thailand, can they take this fight? No, they can't, because Moss is being focused down. Xeno comes in with the Jet Splendor, but it's a bit too late. Star has the Thunderclap. Cherie goes in with a 2-man knockout. Wins dropping super low. Still does not have the ultimate right yet.
Get rid of that tower.
007 shooting on Bracelet of Truth. Lands onto no one. 007 still firing away, but TPE gets 1 kill at the cost of none.
And Yuzon still pushing it, being really greedy here, still going for the hard push into that top tower, into that top highland tower. He's making his time, but he's given enough pressure for the rest of TPE to actually take down the mid tower, pick up a kill for themselves, and they still are struggling to deal with Yuzon.
When Yuzon is still alive, Remix goes in, gets pulled by Wiz, but he'll take down Wiz with the help of the tower. Can he get out with Smooth? There's a Bandit Blender. Smooth moves his way out to safety. Here comes Edge Blender. No, Remix will go down. Neil makes sure he takes that kill for himself, and that is just catastrophic for Team Thailand. TPE now in the driver's seat.
Oh, nobody on their team had any talents that had heal with it. That would have been a lifesaver for Max just there. Really unfortunate it wasn't able to survive there. Zanyo using his ultimate to actually try and go for the save, but just unable to do so. Really well played, really well played.
Unfortunate for Team Thailand. This is where the problem with the team composition arises. You have the Grunk, but if the picks do not come through, the team is going to be really ineffective. There is Liliana and Violet with the burst, but so far they are not making this work out in any way. TPE just waiting for the Dark Slayer to spawn. I believe 30 more seconds until that objective comes online, and they should be able to secure that they have full map control, only high ground towers alive for Thailand.
Absolutely. Right now, MeMarkz and also 007, 7X just need to carry their weight at this point. They need to start really pushing in for that damage, and it's getting hard, especially with their frontliners not being able to get a lot of farm, not being able to get a lot of this gold is starting to put a toll on them. They're not as squishy, especially Moss. He does only have a 5.1k gold lead, and that's not much in comparison to everybody else, and he can't really do much with it as well, only to look for these picks and backline CC, but in the end, he can't really tank.
Yep, definitely can't tank, and as you can see, Yuzon still putting pressure on the top side of the map. Doesn't really bother too much about Remix at this point. Yep, still going toe-to-toe. Remix, losing that fight, and it's just a 1-3-1 split push strategy coming from TPE right now. Wonder Woman can take on a lane on her own. Tara can do the same as well. The rest of the members just need to group up and force a siege. Let's see how Thailand responds to this. Moss's hook is going to be really important at this point.
And the rest of TPE just playing around the bot side of the map. They are looking to pick up the Abyssal Dragon eventually, but they will siege as much as possible.
There is the latest item, the Stone Guard, being picked up by Xenio. It's going to reduce his damage output, but allows him to soak up more damage. Let's see if that is enough to keep Thailand alive in this game, because Abyssal Dragon is spawning in approximately 45 seconds. So TPE has a lot to work for. The hook lands onto Wins, but it's damage enough. The Blinding Light comes through. No, barely misses, and Wins will get out of that alive.
Now Darkslayer is still up, but they are looking for the opportunity to actually do it. If they keep playing around the bot side, they're just looking for the picks to actually eventually pull towards the Darkslayer here, but they are running a 1-3-1. A 1-3-1 really well. They are getting their split pushing lanes, getting people to actually get these split pushing lanes to push in as quickly as possible to break up the team, just so they can look for that final pick to actually pick up that high ground tower.
Now it's all up to 777 with the technical roll. The extra range is going to allow her to do damage from a safe distance, but they have to be aware of both Wins and Neil, especially these two can dive the backline. Wins get hooked. Again, World Devourer not used yet. He's just soaking up as much damage as he can. As the big ball of energy shouldn't be able to connect. Yep, Benny runs away from that. The Darkslayer comes online. TPE will start on that objective.
Absolutely, and now the Darkslayer is they're actually peeling backwards. They do understand that they don't want to get picked off by Grak at this point in time, so they're just going to wait for the waves, reset it once again, push it, and then maybe consider going to the Darkslayer.
The lift off from Remix actually forces TPE to play safer because you don't want the hard engage onto your carries. So now Team Thailand is clearing out the wave, but Remix not really in good spot. The Less of Truth just to check the brush, and TPE going in for the second attempt on the Darkslayer. The hook from Moss does not hit as well. The rest of Chinese Taipei just zoning off Team Thailand, and I think the Darkslayer should be able to go over to TPE.
Oh, looking down on the bot side, Yuzon is still going to make it out of this with no problem. Impossibly tanky to deal with.
Remix already in a good spot. The hook lands on the Benny. Benny gets sucked in. Here comes Cherie to join the fight. Max, where is Max? Yep, he's there. Here comes Angeli's plan to protect Remix for now. Cherie in the midst of everything. The hook does not connect. Thailand has to retreat right now. Cherie soaking up a lot of damage, but 007 still dealing his part of the damage with the tactical roll. Cherie jumps out, but Less of Truth brings him back. Cherie still soaking out damage. Finally goes down, but the hook will land on the New. New will just dash out with the Devastating World Devourer onto Tree. Doesn't really matter too much. The friendship will save the rest of TPE. Meanwhile, Yuzon just doing what he does best. Here comes Split Push once more. Nothing much Thailand can do. TPE will get their first high ground tower of the game.
Yeah, and these frontliners are just making it so difficult for Violet to actually do any damage here. He's trying to get to the backline, but everybody's just getting in the way, refusing to let Benny take any of that damage. And look, the World Power going in again, not really getting much with the Sunshine canceling. As
oh, and it got two! Oh, Violet just slows up two members of TP, but I think the ancestral glory actually kept Wins alive. So so that is really lucky.
Wow, he popped both of them. So lucky.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Thailand, but they managed to hold off TPE for now, losing two high ground towers, and this is where the real challenge comes in. They need to start clearing waves, and Grub isn't really exactly a great wave clearer. TPE should have a total map control at this point.
Yeah, and it comes down to that point. It's hit the time where it's like, okay, now both teams are starting to, they've scaled really well, and now Grak is slowly picking up items. It's kind of dependent on him when he's going to get more and more tanky, to the point where he can actually take the frontline damage and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, you see Grak still looking for a pick. The hook lands onto Benny. World Devourer does not connect. The speed boost brings Benny and Neil to safety. Here comes the Hissifit to slow down Moss. He might just get engaged on. Here comes the dash. Wonder Woman coming in. Less of True. Moss taking a lot of damage. And just Blender from the Xenial. Dead from above onto 007. They want the Violet dead, but Neil has to disengage. Ultimate spree for Star. Moss goes down, but there's Remix in the back with the Violet Blender. The smooth moves just bringing him left and right, but Neil will survive. Now Remix in the bad spot. Cherie gets pulled back by Wins. He has to disengage. No one is saving Wins. Yuzon just going for the back door. Meanwhile, Thailand are just being slaughtered. Remix comes back up with the Ancestral Glory, but he will go back down. There is the final high ground tower alive. Yuzon finally joining his team after 20 minutes. Let's see what TPE can do. Can they close this game out? Cherie trying to clear out as much wave as he can. 007 dealing a lot of damage, running out of mana. Has the technical roll. The French coming in. Yuzon dropping low. Neil very low as well. 007 has to be careful of the positioning. They finally forced TPE back, but they lost two members in the process.
And also losing quite a few high ground turrets. That's actually becoming very difficult because Tara is becoming an unstoppable force. Nobody can really deal with her at this point in time.
Yeah, absolutely, and now it's up to Liliana for and 007 Violet for the wave clear. They just need to keep this final high ground tower alive, or else we must see a reminiscence of TPE crashing into the base and just taking the core. You can see Stone Guard being picked up by the Wonder Woman as well to soak up even more damage as the front line, especially with the bracelet of submission with the extra shield for the team. So now it's all up to Thailand to hold this, to hold their base and look and hope for pick, because Stone Guy being picked up by Yuzon. This guy is already unkillable. This guy is so far ahead. He went for the Fenrir Tooth, so yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah, he's just been in the side lane this all day. So
oh, getting World Devourer. Yuzon gets blown up. He has the Ancestral Glory. He should be able to survive. MeMarkz will lead away. The Lash of Truth does not connect, but there is a really quick expansion of the Ancestral Glory. Wiz gets dragged back. Last high ground tower alive. Thailand desperately trying to defend this. Win still in the midst of everything. Where is the hook? The hook somehow what? Does not land onto anyone.
Wait. How did that not hit anybody? Did it just slide in between? What in the world?
What?
What was that hitbox? All right, never mind. That's really unfortunate. Missing another hook again. I mean, if I was Greg, I'd be real annoyed about that.
That's actually really sad. How did the hook went through 4 members without getting anyone? And there goes the mic.
Oh my goodness! But the rest of the team actually, TPE is actually getting the controls of this, really getting control of the side lanes, pushing in simultaneously. They've got 2 in sync waves, top and bottom, going to push in at the exact same time. If their teammates can start the fight, they might actually consider. Oh, the hook actually lands!
Where's the World Devourer? Yeah, okay. It was a bit too late.
Okay,
so
is it me or this World Devourer is just the cast time is just way too long to actually combo into it?
It actually has a really long cast time. So if you have a speed boost or any skills that provide you with mobility, you should be able to survive to walk out of the World Devourer. But now they are committing their resources to take out the Tara. But here comes Wonder Woman again. Cherie now in the best spot. The rest of TP are rotating. 777. Will he join the fray? He does. Sunshine onto MeMarkz, but no follow up from TP. Yet there is a shining light, a lot of damage. They need to look out for the top high ground tower, because that is where everything's going to change. And again, World Devourer just trying to devour the wall, but structures are inedible. So Moss gets nothing out of that. And Yuzon just goes back to his own split push mission. So Thailand just needs that one great hook, but TP are not giving that to Thailand.
Absolutely, and they're just struggling to do anything at this point. I mean, what can you do? You go out, all you're gonna do is just get pushed in every single time. I mean, mid and bottom are 2 very crucial lanes, especially mid. Once you lose mid, your side lanes are basically gone.
Yeah. So now Darkslayer is gonna be up in 10 seconds. Should be a really free one for TPE.
Absolutely. And Violet also picking up Fenrir's Tooth on her side. She's got full build now. And is that gonna make a huge difference? It's hard to say, because I mean, Wonder Woman is rather ridiculous. She has not been taking any damage whatsoever.
Oh, I think they are a bit too far from the base. They have to retreat right now. No way. If they get caught out, the game would be over. The waves are crashing in. And Yuzon has been there for the past 5 minutes, so this guy is just probably having the easiest time of his life right now. See the rest of Thailand just rotating there, but he shouldn't be able to catch him. Nope, he just walks away. And that opens up space for the rest of TPE to take the Darkslayer. No window of contention from TH, and that means second Darkslayer goes over to Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, just look at how TPE is playing this initially. Just look at where Tara is right now. She's just waiting in the bush, waiting for that wave to come out, just to stick her head out. And they already have the Darkslayer. Her whole mission is not even to tank. It's just to be this annoying split pusher who just won't die.
Yeah, definitely. And you see, Yuzon, yeah, just diverting the attention of Thailand. Only Wonder Woman in the top side. The Sunshine lands. Moss might just get engaged on the dash from Neil. No hook for now. He's looking for the perfect World Devourer, but there's no window of opportunity for that. The wave is still a bit far away for the top side. So the hook lands on the Neil. Neil's gonna dash out. No World Devourer this time. The Lasso of Truth. Wins just lassos himself into the fray. Has to dash out of it immediately. The rest of Thailand are still having really good wave clear. Here comes the engage.
Wait a minute.
Wins has to retreat, but there's a sword and shield. He's super tanky. And you can see Remix just clearing out the wave. He's not going down. The wave being cleared by the Max. Wins. Lasso through again onto Cherie. What can TPE do? Can they really crack the base? World Devourer onto 2. He gets cancelled by the hissy fit. And here comes Cherie. A lot of shield. Near in the backline. There is the Max disrupting the Zephys. Wins taking a lot of damage. Moss dropping low. Cherie as well. Sunshine lands onto the Grub. They should be able to heal themselves up because the fountain is nearby. And TPE being pushed back once again. It seems like they're having trouble trying to close out this game. MeMarkz being the MVP to clear out the way, but Cherie gets called out once more. 3 members power onto him, and his defeat gets used. World Devourer from Moss only gets the super minion, and that is more than enough to clear the wave off out of their base. Still holding on to the game. Meanwhile, Remix versus Yuzon. No clear winners right there, but the wave gets cleared out once more, so Thailand are just holding on, playing base defense for as long as they can.
Absolutely, and both sides just struggling to do anything in this point in time because the stalemate, they've come to a very significant stalemate, and it's kind of who is willing to take the risk.
Yeah, absolutely, and right now you can see Wins trying to find the perfect engage, but like you said, for the Grug, in Grug's case, for Moss, when he hits the Iron Spike, he can tank more damage up front without worrying about dying, and that's where his true value comes in. Now he won't be the squishy, immobile disabler that's just gonna get caught out and die. Now he can actually stock up damage and look for the perfect timing to use the Bow Devourer.
The most interesting part is that he hasn't gone for anything too flashy, like a flicker and World Devour ultimate there to catch out multiple people. I mean, he has it now, it is available to him, so I'm waiting for him to make that big play to get at least multiple people, at least 3 people, and that should end the fight.
Yep, hopefully he pulls that off, but it's either a hit or a miss. You can see Benny, even the Alice has the Ancestral Glory. They really want the second chance in case someone gets caught up by the Grug, which is a really effective item for the side of TPE. Now escorting the super minions once again. This is an attempt, I think should be more than 10 attempt to bring the wave in. Ancestral Glory being purchased by Yuzon once more. The cooldown has been done. Neo gets hooked back. World Devourer not used. Moss has learned his lesson. Now they just need to protect the top wave. You see the rest of TPE rotating to the top side, but Thailand are still defending it really well.
Yeah, this is just going for a very, very long back and forth. Oh, looks like they actually get one person off. He's going to be coming back.
They catch out Neo. Neo's going to revive with the Ancestral Glory. Cherie now committing. Here comes the flicker from MeMarkz, but Neo will be saved. Ancestral Glory and just Splendor from Cherie. Yuzon just get called out in the midst of 5 members. Side steps the hook. And there is another revive gone for TPE. TH. They pulled the trigger and they're creating more and more space for themselves. The hook somehow doesn't land onto Yuzon. I mean, the stage column was so huge, but it didn't connect as well. So it's a bit onto MeMarkz. TPE. Yep, they are going to retreat and reset this wave, but they just cannot crack Thailand's base.
Absolutely, even though it's there, 11k goldie, it really doesn't matter as of right now, because now it's just finishing off their final items for each of their members, including the support. So now, both supports at this point in time have got their full build, and it's kind of who makes the first mistake.
Yeah, definitely who. Up to who makes the first mistake. I think Grug working towards the Ancestral Glory as well. Everyone wants the second life. You can see the Holy Bible purchased by Liliana. She purchased 2 Bibles. This
Holies of Holies.
Yeah.
The Holies of Holies?
Holies of Holies, yeah.
My goodness. She's already got 2. I mean, at this point, it's kind of really who oversteps their boundaries.
Yeah, that guy is going to destroy you in a single combo.
Oh my goodness, this is the longest standoff ever. Just Boston Remix camping out for Benny and Star. We've got all day, boys.
Yeah, we definitely got all day. Meanwhile, Yuzon just back to his usual routine. This actually feels like Harvest Moon right now.
Yeah, he's been doing this the entire game. He's just taking his time, pushing these waves as long as possible, and is still unkillable.
And this guy has done so less in joining with his team that he only has 1 assist.
And he has the most goals.
This is how much time he spends with his team. He's just power farming all the lanes. Like,
I mean, let's look at it this way. Looking at the people who have the most kills, right? They still don't add up to how much Yuzon has in his Harvest Moon. His farm is just going off the charts here.
Now he's just holding the wave. What this guy?
I think at this point it's kind of you've hit that point where you need to like really control the waves. You need to let these waves actually hit you, and then just keep your wave healthy and just stack them up at that point. But it's so difficult to do, especially when you already have the extra with the super minions there. It doesn't help the case. He pushes in a little too quickly sometimes, so you're kind of hoping that the enemy pushes 2 wave minimum to at least get it past the halfway point, past the river, and then you can start building up that jump. But I think that might take too much time. I don't know how patient he is, and they are going to be looking for the Dark Slayer. And I think if they correct their waves, this could be the fight. This could be the fight right at Dark Slayer.
That's the 3rd Dark Slayer. The 4th Dark Slayer spawning, but TP will get their 3rd. And as usual,
It's like they're not testing.
There's no way they can do that. It's just hope for the best to defend the base. And so far, the wave clear from Thailand has been decent in taking out the waves. There's a really good hook on the cannon minion. That means TPE has to wait for another wave, which is going to take, like we had the discussion, 40 seconds.
40 seconds, yes.
40 seconds, yes. So that clear bar is going to run out by then.
Don't worry. If 40 seconds to get for the minions to get in, they've got at least 20 seconds to fight.
Yeah.
And in that time, somebody's gonna win.
Somebody has to die.
Somebody has to die. But with everybody having the second life, it's gonna be really difficult. I mean, the front lines of second life in here, it's kind of on the playmaker still. Like, really do something. It's definitely on Moss to get at least multiple people with his ultimate. If he misses over at that point, it's kind of on TPE to actually start forcing a fight here.
Win. They must be engaged. Here comes the World Devourer, gets cancelled immediately.
Wait a minute.
News and Yuzon gets called out by the Shining Light. Wins again, trying to duke it out with Cherie. Here's the last of through a bit of damage. Moss there, the hook somehow misses. TPE looking to crack the base. Remix trying to hold off the top side, which means this is a 4v4 right now. Let's see who makes the first mistake. Neil gets called out a bit, getting down a lot of damage. The Witch gets cleared out by Max once more. Moss in the midst of everything. Here comes Cherie as the line of defense, the front line. Here comes the Hissifit to disable Moss for now. Yuzon gets called out. Let's heals out. This guy is not dying. Neils wants to go for the tower, but the tower has backdrop protection. The hook doesn't land on anyone. Yuzon still being the annoying frontline that he is.
He's not dead
He's just not dead yet. Cherie going in.
I think he's used his ultimate at least twice already.
Okay. That's the hook.
Wait, the World Devourer actually gets him.
Okay, I guess cancel again. Yuzon,
wait,
go
he's down!
Yes, he's down. And Cecil Glory being a spender, he's gonna revive. This guy, yeah, he's going to survive once more. Cherie using the Angelic Splendor to get out of there. Wins gets taken down, but he has a second life as well. Everyone has a second life, so they're gonna come back. He gets hooked back. Will Wins go down one? Remix in the midst of everything. Star taken low. The execute comes through. 2 more life down. Yuzon runs out of life. The revive onto both Neil and Star. Star has to run out. Neil takes down MeMarkz. Neil's go down. Stars as well. 2 for 1. Thailand, they still hold on. My goodness.
Wow, and do you know what's the best part? They're not going to be able to punish with a single tower in this entire fight!
Yeah.
They've evened the score 10-10, and now we wait for the minions once more!
Ladies and gentlemen, TPE has just hit 101k gold.
This game is way too
Can someone just buff the minions?
Yeah, somebody needs to buff the minions, man. Oh, man.
Okay,
finally, they've gone for the first punish. They've finally taken out that mid turret here. They're looking for the high ground. They are still pushing ever so forward. 9 more seconds until Neil is back up. They can do this, but Tara is actually on the bottom side of the map.
He wants
taking out the tower.
Can he get it? The ultimate.
Oh my goodness, okay. What an effort here, but it's going to be okay. The rest of his team will be able to make it back to hold off that mid wave.
Okay, if only they got the high ground tower, they should be able to balance the wave. Neil engages by taking a lot of damage, has to use the death from above. World Devourer doesn't hit onto anyone. The Sunshine cancels that out. Hissifit being used. Now it's 3v4. It's going to be a 4v4 reason. MeMarkz coming in. They want that high ground tower really badly. Moss just needs one good hook. No one has a second life right now. This is the best time to kill off TPE.
Oh, look at Moss. This is like a game for him. He's like, yeah, get one of them.
Fishing. Let's go fishing. Right, one more hit.
Now Violet.
Ah, finally.
Yes. Violet using her range, really her tactical role and actually get the range on it is becoming super effective, allowing them to take the high ground tower. But
just
now the fight.
Neil at the back, 3-man stun. Death
He's
for
got
above.
it.
007. There is the Ancestral Angelic Splendor from the Xenio. Ancestral Glory will bring 007 back to life. Can the Violet survive? He needs to survive. Tactical rolls out. There's a Thunderbird. He gets blocked immediately. Neil's dropping low. Yuzon coming back. Has a lot of damage. Beat the front line. MeMarkz might just drop. No revive for him. Neil at the back. Death from above. Still survives. The Violet doesn't go down. Remix will revive. Yuzon looking for the pick of ultimate spree for 007. Remix might just give up his life in the back line, but it doesn't matter. The rest of Thailand need to defend. They need to retreat. Moss trying to run away. Yuzon is just this angry Viking, angry berserker trying to take down Moss, but Moss is so tanky. Still not dead yet. Where is the Xenio? Coming as the front. Yeah, finally goes down, but he has the second life. Yuzon does not. He needs the hook. No,
he manages.
Doesn't go for the hook, but this might just be the end game for TPE. They just need the final high ground tower. Hissifit gets used to zone out the rest of Thailand. The hook doesn't connect. TPE finally cracked the base, and now it's all up to Thailand to defend the core.
You can just see the fatigue on these players. They've been playing for 35 minutes straight on their handheld devices, and you can definitely see it in their faces, the struggles that they are going through to maintain a high level of performance here.
You're gonna lose your fingerprints by the end of this. There's another
holies. He doesn't need any other item item. He just needs more magic damage.
God of AOVs. Like, bestow him with your magical powers, extra health. You don't even need raw resistance. Like, who needs raw resistance? It's all about the stats.
Who needs these unique passives when you can have more magic damage?
Yeah. So Yuzon holding out the wave on his own. The only lane that has been cracked by Thailand is the middle lane. It's going to hold off the wave for a while. It's actually the most important lane. So TPE will have the attention split every now and then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think TPE is kind of in this awkward position where initially I was thinking that it would take at least 2 big fights for Thailand to actually take this away, but ends up it's just 1 big fight.
Moss is dead. There is the wins from the back line. There is a hissy fit. Moss not really in a good spot. He
Wait
might
a minute, but Tara's coming in.
Tara going for the back door, and it seems like TPE wants to delay the retreat of Thailand. Here comes 777. This is it! The final fight! Vodivaro onto both Benny and Star, but the shutdown to 777! Neil takes that kill. He might have just won his team the game. The Fox, a leap of the Fox away from MeMarkz. Neil goes down. 3v4. They want to go for the call, but the waves haven't crashed in yet. Cherie, Remix, and MeMarkz.
It's
close. This is really close. Who can they get? Neil's revive with the Ancestral Glory. Let's see what can Thailand do. Can they really pull this off? Star dropping low. MeMarkz getting sniped by the Thunderbird. That is the end of Thailand's first game. TPE take game 1.
TPE take game 1. What an extremely long game. Super exciting. Final fight at the very end. Finally catching off Violet to end the game.
Yep, definitely. And it all started because they have all the high ground towers, and because Moss got caught out. Yuzon was setting out the wave. They've broken the record. Longest game, most kills, longest farm fest, most total team network, most Bible purchased by a single hero. Everything broken by this series. But yeah, really good game 1 for TPE. But Thailand, they really show that they are not like the wild card. They are way better as expected for as they are the main representatives for the region.
Absolutely. Oh man, what an exciting game. Man, I hope these games don't take that long to end, because that was really frustrating, especially for TPE, who were trying their best to actually get that last tower. They, I think in general, they were looking to actually end the game over two Highline towers being gone. But in the end, they just needed that third one. Let's look at the results and see how much gold that they've accumulated. 23,000 per person, except for the supports.
Yeah, except for the support. And look, look at MeMarkz. This guy has 3 holies of holies. A total life expand. Every single one of them had a second life. Like the moment they revive, they just sell it off and get another item and wait for the cooldown. It just rinse and repeat. But Chinese Taipei has been trying to crack the base for at least 20 minutes. They've been doing that since like minute 14, 15. Oh yeah, actually minute 16. Yeah, that's when the second Dark Slayer spawned. They've been doing that, and for 20 minutes straight, Thailand held on.
I mean, Thailand did a really good job holding on here. They understood that they needed to clear the wave, they needed to set themselves up for a victory, and they finally found that fight which allowed them to get that mid-high ground tower. And that was important, because the moment if they could take another fight like that, and they could potentially win the game.
Yeah, this is how you know that Tara hasn't been really participative. Only 33.3% out of 15 kills. So this guy, I've never seen a Tara go for Fenrir 2, but this is the first.
Oh, this is beautiful. It's just overly too long, and just a huge farm fest for the Tara for the longest possible time.
Yeah, and it's going to be really exhausting on the place as well, because there is little to no break in between. They should be going to picks and bans for game 2 really soon. And if this goes on the game 3, and imagine if this is a best of 3 series, it goes on all 3 games, and every single game is like.
I mean, I think at that point I'll start calling for a vote for the team with the most stamina. I'll just be like, it's one of these 2.
Whoever has the more net will give them the win. You can still surrender, but there is the replays for the first game. And let's just bask in this moment.
just watching the beautiful plays happening here. Just Neil, just getting out with 1 HP. Just look at that. That is the most infuriating. I hope they do actually have the replay of the format non-hittable hook.
Oh yeah,
that's just not fair. That
is really sad. Okay, then you see Yuzon gets like again the second life. What they can yeah, there's a mistimed hook, and it's just unfortunate for Thailand.
Yeah, just overall really unfortunate. I think this is where they finally lose out their first engagement here. And I think this is what actually turned the tables around for Thailand actually.
Oh yeah, and that is a really beautiful execute. They have an extra life. So.
And they still lose their member.
They still lose them, and it's like the worst thing that can happen to you. And then you have the attempted backdoor from Yuzon, just dies to the tower.
I think overall in many of these team fights, it was literally just how the game works. You need minions to take out towers and objectives super fast. I think that's just like the core concept of the game. You can't change that. But just how fast they walk, it's way too slow.
Yeah.
It's absolutely way too slow. And in many of these draggy games, it all comes down to who has more high ground towers. And I think that was just the main thing. And I think Taipei really needed to get that top high ground to like really invest in getting that top high ground tower to really end this game. They finally turned their focuses on it after so long. They're 5 minutes into it. 5 minutes into the siege, it was finally, okay, I need to break this tower now. There's no way I can crack their base.
Yeah, and you can see the last, for the very last fight, I think MeMarkz kind of was a bit exhausted. He actually like backed himself onto the core, so no way out, he gets stunned out immediately. But I think at that point, there's nothing much they can do. TPE was just way too tanky. Like you can just put Tara in the front, you can just start hitting the core and the core will still break anyways.
I guess. At a certain point, you consider, like, why don't they just rush the core? But then it takes way too long. You're probably going to die trying it. You just need one minion. And that's kind of the issue.
Kill the guy with 3 holies of holies.
Get rid of that guy first.
Oh,
boy.
It might just burst you down with, like, a 2k damage.
Yeah, that honestly, that is just so rough.
Yeah.
Just so rough. When you've come to the point where where these item unique passives just do not matter anymore. Like, you just need that raw damage.
He bought that not knowing that it has a unique passive, but who cares? I need the 400.
I need more damage.
Yeah, 400 ability power. There's 1.2k for 3 holies of holies, plus the amplification from the hacker diadem. So you do the math. It probably has like 2.5k at least.
2.5k, and even then it's just so difficult to kill people. It's honestly ridiculous how difficult it is to kill people, especially once you hit the full build.
Oh yeah.
And I think it comes down to like how the end game works. I do feel like this is why AOV's games are a little bit more longer, a lot more tactical, but it comes down to how you punish your opponent. When you punish someone, you really have to take everything they have, because if not, it drags on like this game. And it's only because like even if they do try to punish, they get a retaliation back.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of evens out the scales.
There's always the counter engage, and someone dies, he just revives. What's the point?
Absolutely,
the guy
yeah.
comes back to life. Yeah.
At that stage of the game, it's a little too difficult to do that. But in the earlier stages, I definitely think TPE should have closed out the game much, much sooner.
Oh yeah.
Looking for that final high ground tower. But let's go straight into the picks and bans. These players have got to be so tired. Honestly, they've got to be so tired. Their fingers must be aching.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope they have prepared talcum powder to
soothe their hands.
Yes. I think that's part of the strategy when coming to mobile MOBAs. Like some players, they actually go for talcum powder so that you don't really you don't really wear out your skin when you're moving your thumb around the wheel pad. I think that's the whole gist of it. But yes, Timmy and Superman, no surprise.
Would it be unfair if you have like mobile accessories for the game? Is that technically illegal?
I think it is, because so far all the setup we've seen throughout all these tournaments is all a standard.
It's all the standard one. But what if someone brought their own? Let's say.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. No.
Is that an unfair advantage?
It's a big no. What if Switch comes through and someone just brings a Switch?
Ah, yeah. That'd be interesting. But let's look at what the bans are so far. Superman from ban, obviously. Ooh, actually, Omen and Daniel actually being taken out of the picture this time, and
Thank God.
I was expecting
no
a Tara
ban.
No
ban the Grok.
Ban Grok, ban Tara. But it's standard ban so far. Omen also being taken out. Timmy also out of the question. Lubu, one of the big players here. You never want to let this guy go. Just such a good duelist, such a good split pusher, and has high mobility, which becomes very difficult to deal with. But now it's going to be the first pick of Thailand.
And Thailand on the blue side once more. I think TPE pick red side or vice versa. Doesn't really matter. This might just be the final game if Chinese Taipei wins this one. This time they are hovering over the max. Do they want to take the Wonder Kind for themselves? We haven't seen a really good liftoff from a Remix's max in the previous game, simply because there was no point of entry. Oh, they are not going for the max. This time they're considering the Violet and the Tulin. It should be a no-brainer. Tulin should just go through for TPE. They have been performing. They have performed really well on that hero, and they're just gonna keep it up.
Yeah, and they've secured their DPS for the red side especially, and now Thailand's gotta start figuring out what they want to do. They want to play something a little bit different. I'm excited. I would like to see someone pick up a Mirror or something, just to have that split pushing, just double assassin split pushing, just chunking people out across the field.
Yeah, definitely. And Tara is open, so hopefully we see a Tara again. Max and Violet being locked in for TPE, which means Tulen is available. We'll see if Thailand wants to go for that. Yep, Tulen and Alice this time going over to TH. TPE, let's see. Would there be another Tara, huh?
Rather interesting why they would actually prefer having the Max over Cullen themselves. So that's kind of strange to me, because this gives the opportunity for Thailand to actually pick up Tara for themselves, to actually deal with Yuzon here. Because overall, once Max and Tara are actually hand in hand in the same lane, it's not going to go anywhere. None of them are going to be able to kill each other unless you make a significant mistake. And in many of these cases, these players know how to get out of these bad situations.
Yeah, and now you can see Liliana is up on the table. Ryoma is being covered by TPE. It could be a really good choice to pick him up, and yes, they did. They lock in Liliana and Ryoma. We'll see how Thailand wants to play this out. Do they want to go for Grog Tara? I don't think so. They still don't have a proper DPS.
Give me both of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's highly dependent on.
Oh wow! Okay, all right.
Wow, Thailand really want to play the aggression here, having Sked and also Lindis on their side. I actually kind of like this. I do like the Lindis. I do like the Scud. A lot of high damage. A lot of DPS coming in from Thailand here. They want to fight. They absolutely want to fight. And on the side of Chinese Taipei, they agree. They want to fight as well, getting Ryoma as well as Ormar in their vessels to be able to take them on one-on-one.
Like I only remember seeing Scud once in a domestic regional qualifiers, and that Scud went for execute. So
it's the one-shot tactic. Just get your backline. Goodbye.
Providing he can, but the part that sucks about that is that you just get lower.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find the opportunity to actually catch somebody out. But I think I do enjoy somebody actually having to execute to make sure if you get a pick, he is going to die.
Yeah, but you are giving up a bit of a utility. You have a bit of fist bump from the Thailand team. They should be ready for this. 007, the marksman he is, now going for a Lindis jungle because there is no Violet. Should be a really good game for them. Let's see how this works out. We've seen a Lindis jungle quite frequently, a really safe jungler. So both teams should have a strategy plan. This is an entirely different game plan. Absolutely. No Tara, no Grug, no 100k plus net worth, hopefully. And both coaches, they're gonna shake their hands for possibly the final time for today as we make our way onto the terrorist battlefield for Game 2 between Chinese Taipei and Thailand.
And when the players fist bump each other after a 35 intense long minute game, you know that they're ready because their fingers probably are hurting after that fist bump. But the rest of them are splitting back up, going into. It looks like they're going into a very defensive position here. They don't want to give up their fight buff this time. Rather interestingly, they don't want to actually go for the invade here. But the rest of the team, Chinese Taipei, is actually moving in to the blue side, to actually pick up the Sage buff and proxy the wave. They're going to quickly do this, and they're not actually going to take the buff straight away. This is going to put them at a significant difference in terms of timings here because they do have the Might buff, but they won't be able to continue forward here. They steal away the Sage buff, and now they're trying something a lot more different than what I imagined it to be.
And Lind is still working on his own Might buff, which means timing for this marksman jungle is a bit. It's going to slow down a bit. The Sage buff goes over to the Violet. 007 a bit slow on his pacing, but he should be fine. The passive gives him speed boost and bonus damage. Manny comes in with a bit of a gut punch on to Mars. Being forced back the speed boost from Lindis. There is the trap to reveal the Omar. Wins, waiting in the waiting in the wings as the Ryoma, as now Yuzon goes toe-to-toe with Remix.
I mean, both sides are doing really, really well here. I like what Chinese Taipei do. They want to change up the strategy a little bit. They go for a different type of pathing. And I think it's actually quite beneficial for them because that means they get more of the jungle. They utilize more of the jungle and spread the gold out much, much more efficiently.
Oh, Wins gets caught out. Has to pin him away. The trap just there to zone out the Ryoma. You can see Oma in the jungle once more. Violet is following him. Will there be an early fight? Lindis not really want to walk in there. Yep, there is a really well-placed trap to spot out both the Violet and the Omar. Tactical roll, the sunshine comes in from the Alice. Violet goes in, rolls again, tries to do a bit of damage to clear the wave, forcing the Malak back. No level 4 for him. But TPE, which means that now they're finally set up for the Abyssal Dragon. First Abyssal Dragon from the day. This one's not going to be so lucky to be able to survive. There's Sunshine, only level 2 on the Alice. Let's see what Cherie can do. No shock means no contention. TPE should be able to secure this one themselves.
They're easily carrying it into their core of the field, and now they take that away. Now Yuzon, Yuzon's kind of in a bad position here now.
Engaged on. He actually uses the lift off. Can he run away? Here comes the dash. One last on the thing. No, it just down to the connect. 007 snipes him down mid-air. Really good attempt, but first blood going over to Team Thailand.
Oh, I love the attempt. I absolutely love the attempt he was going on for there. But just unfortunate at the very end, just getting shot down.
I'm pretty sure he clicked on the Alice, so he would die anyways. But he did try, That's the first time we witnessed the good use of the liftoff, even though he did not survive. But Yuzon now just walking back into base with a bit of an item progression. Has to be careful of 007, he's still hanging around. No liftoff for the Max this time. And I like how both DS laners have execute, so that is execute down for Remix. He works on the Spirit Sentinel. The rest of TPE are just hovering over at the mid side.
Yeah, and once again, the stalemate does continue. They're looking to play much more safer than they did with past games, where they were willing to go out to be more aggressive, but I think both teams understand that they are quite tired from the past games and want to make this quick progression a little bit faster here. MeMarkz getting chunked out pretty hard here.
Oh, wow. Star actually negated the entirety of Thunderbird's damage with the ultimate. Yeah, I did not know that you can do that, but that's just pretty interesting.
Because you can't be targeted when you transform.
Yeah,
that's an easy way of just canceling it. The rest of the team's actually over.
Okay,
hold up. Wow, Wynn's getting chunked out pretty hard here.
And that is the power of Linda's jungle. You want to get as much kill as you can, but TPE trading, getting the middle lane tower for themselves. And again, they have been cracking open the middle lane tower really fast for us, even compared to the previous game. Yuzon actually being engaged on the top side. He actually survives with a slither of health. Remix has to run away as well, so it should be fine here. Is a bit of jungle back and tug of war. Violet is going to get that mic buff, and MeMarkz has to recall.
Okay, that was
extra distance. Yep. Tries. Good attempt. Once more.
That happened. Now the rest of the team is actually looking towards the Abyssal Dragon as they slowly are pushing. The rotations are coming. Alice is right in the back here. She is.
Not really a good spot you want to go to. Yep, here comes the charge from Benny. There's the hissy fit, but it doesn't really connect onto anyone. Here comes the shot from Cherie and 007 with a lot of damage. Star might just go down. No, manages to dash away. New take a lot of damage. This time he gets stunned up. The burst comes through. Ultimate spree for 007, and Benny has to retreat. Thailand should be able to trade back that tower for themselves.
That's actually so unlucky. She tactical rolled forward just to get hit by Ormar's stun randomly because of his passive, and then gets hit by Thunderbird. That is just a very unfortunate series of events.
Yeah, actually, Benny tried to defend his teammate as much as he could, but he was dropped out low. So now the mid lane equilibrium is stabilized for both teams. It's now even. Each team having one tower, and look at the damage coming in from Lindis, and that is just too much damage for Yuzon to deal with. He actually drops down to 30% health. The danger zone has to retreat. So now meanwhile Remix just walks back into the lane. We haven't seen much of the Ryoma yet. Hopefully we'll get to see that. You see Neil coming in. There's a lot of damage onto Wiz. There is a tactical roll. The ultimate comes through. Remix will just go down. One last roll. Remix gets taken down by Neil. Here comes Moss with the Sunshine. Wiz take a lot of tower damage. Hits the fits just to zone out Neil, but they get the tower anyways. Now Yuzon not in a great spot. Here comes the shock to zone out Neil once more. Yuzon taking a lot of damage from 007. Here comes Star with the blinding light. Stuns up the Lindis. And TPE will disengage.
Oh, that's actually really unfortunate. If Malik just positioned his ultimate a little bit better where it intercepts both the entrance from the top side and into the jungle, I think he would have been able to actually pick that kill up.
Yeah, absolutely, but he did a really good job of zoning out the Violet, the main damage dealer of TPE, from ever joining the fight. So now Thailand still leading with 2 kills, 3-1 so far. All the kills going over to Lindis. Omar, but they can pick up Benny. Might just be the 4th. Thailand has to leap away, but there's the hissy fit, the silence, there's the cleave. Benny trying to survive onslaught spree for 007. Here comes the shout. Cherie, Wiz gonna sidestep that. Double kill for 007. Neil coming in trying to do as much damage as he can with the roll. Here comes Star with the burst, but he's gonna get stunned up by the Sunshine. And TP has to disengage for that. 007 still walking forward. Look at the speed boost Neil cannot even fight that, and TPE have to pull back.
And now Lindis is actually starting to become a huge problem for the rest of TPE here because she is scaling very, very well. She's got a lot of damage on her hands, and with the rest of the team actually just peeling for her, it becomes so difficult to actually do anything.
And here we go. The duel of the century. Use.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, yeah. Alright, just. Cannot win that, so might as well run.
Oh my goodness.
The Sunshine, oh, Neil does not get hit by that, but he has to retreat. Double 7 taking a lot of damage. Benny gets slow by the Endless Ultimate.
What?
Last tick of damage. Dominating spree for 007. This guy is popping off.
1,470 damage. My goodness, that came out of nowhere.
The passive proc, the passive proc, the ultimate extra damage. This guy really lives out to his name right there, being the James Bond of Thailand. Now they're gonna get the Abyssal Dragon for themselves, but they still haven't cracked the tower yet. Let's see if they can do it this time. Here comes the shock. The pinwheel doesn't bring wins out to safety. A lot of damage from the Lindis legendary 007. James Bond is alive, ladies and gentlemen. Thailand in the lead.
This man is now going on a huge killing spree. He's already got so many kills on him. He has to accelerate this game so much quicker.
Yep, definitely he definitely has to do so, and so far the rest of Thailand are just there to provide support, clear out as much of the wave as they can. Moss taking a bit of damage. Here comes MeMarkz as the tool on the side. Hasn't been shining too much. Lindis stealing most of the spotlight. Darkslayer is alive, but TPE cannot go for that because Thailand is just too far ahead. Just now, just waiting for the item progression. There we go. Rank breaker already completed. Waiting for the Omni Arms to be maybe the Omnius, maybe the Frost Cape. Actually, the Frost Cape for Lindis.
Frost Cape would be better,
Sunshine. New. His if it gets used once more, and Thailand are just in a really good position right now.
Absolutely, they are looking for the opportunity to actually go for a quick climb to get Lindis even further ahead. Because I think the only person Lindis really has to worry about is people actually getting on top of her, like Yuzon or even Benny. She just has to be very careful because there's not a lot of CC in general from the side of TPE. Just a lot of raw damage and pseudo CC.
They want the tower, they got it, and right now TPE just sieging as fast as they can. 007 not really in a good spot. There is the flank from Wins. Yuzon being zoned out by Cherie. 007 wants to go in for damage, and here we go. The damage output coming in from the Lindis. Yuzon has to retreat immediately. No way he can take that fight. And 007 again just running all over the map. The Omni Arms being picked up by Scott in the background. And just a lot of item progression. Frostgate being picked up right now. And TH are just going for the top tower. Yuzon gets collapsed by 4 members. Out of nowhere, Thunderbird comes through. Moss picks up the first kill. His if it gets dropped. Here comes the shot onto 2. Cherie goes in. They won this fight. They're taking this to TPE. Legendary streak for 007. Benny, not really in a good spot. Gets defeated by MeMarkz. There is a kill going over to Thailand. Meanwhile, Scott just executes the Ryoma. 4 kills over to TH. TPE gets decimated.
Cool, that just happened. Just got soloing Ryoma with no issues whatsoever. Just the product of how much duelist damage he has by himself. But they are going to push all the way to this Highline Tower. They need to punish as hard as they can. Yuzon is coming up, but they actually keep pushing up to that Highline Tower, and I think that would have been worth their time.
I think maybe now they want to go for the Darkslayer because there's still 5 seconds for the Ryoma to come back up, and the time they take to walk towards the Darkslayer is a bit too long, which means this time Thailand finally in the lead after a really bad first game. 1.5 minutes on the Darkslayer buff. Let's see what they can do with it.
Absolutely, they give up the opportunity to go for that highlight. Now they're going to look for these big fights, but they can actually just win it straight up with this buff.
Yeah, definitely. So right now, still not much window to push with the Darkslayer. Abyssal Dragon going over to TPE. It's a minor goal injection to keep them in this game. But Lindis is definitely a force to be reckoned with, already working towards the 5th item progression. Should be a Clevi Sanctai for the Lindis. So 007, the main damage dealer for TH. TPE has to be careful.
Yeah, they're playing it slow. They're taking their time, but they're really abusing the amount of vision they're getting off of the traps. And I think this is really good.
Look at the speed boost. Oh my god.
Whoa, wow. Oh, that's about a quarter of his HP. The rest of them are just taking their time, but I do love how MeMarkz is actually playing.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, Neil over one last. Yeah, but 007 has to retreat. Benny protects his team. Thunderbird, Star gets sniped, which means he gets zoned out of the bot lane.
I mean, overall that's good enough. That means they're going to get one more tower.
Yeah.
I mean, mid-wave is already pushed up here.
Yeah, I think they want more. Can they get more? Benny just goes in with a bit of gut punch, takes a lot of damage, has to retreat immediately. There's MeMarkz taking his own part of the damage. Now they have the wave.
Wait, hold on.
What they can do? Oh my goodness, Neil! Too much plus one less damage. The trap detonates, but not enough to take down the Violet. Now TPE, it's their turn to go for base defense. Wins get clipped by the shock. That high ground tower will go down. Here comes the thunderclap from the Tulan. What can TPE do? Can they defend against this? Will Thailand go straight for the core? I think they're going for the core. Here comes everyone just piles onto it. Thailand close this out. 12 minutes into game 2. They bring this to a game 3 and you can look at the cheers. TH evens out the series against TPE.
Really, really well done there. They did an amazing job looking for the objective with the core. They saw Max down, trying to push out that top side, trying to punish them, but they realized that they had the upper hand. Somebody was a little bit out of place. Malak went immediately with his ultimate right in and actually caught somebody off and finally ending that game straight off the bat with a full wave at their backs. That's what we're talking about. You just need a couple of minions and this game is over, but the problem is that they walk so slow. So even clearing out one wave isn't enough. You need to clear a minimum of 2 waves to make sure that they don't start chaining themselves in.
Yeah, you can see the joy on their face as they rejoice, and the fist bumps this time really worth it. It's not about tired fingers. It's about getting a really convincing win over TPE. I think only dropping 1 member during the whole game, and the game length was like just a third compared to the first game.
Yeah,
which is finally decisive.
Let's quickly look at the results here. I kind of want to see how Lindis did overall. She made a significant goal lead. She already has everything she pretty much needs at that point in time. And even though Tulin wasn't the exact carry, he was still dishing out a large amount of damage throughout. He was really being the finisher that we've all been waiting for. Once Lindis has chunked out most of them, he just goes in and starts to trying to pick up these kills. But Lindis just did an overly good job.
You have to give credit to Star for not dying the entire game. This guy has zero KDA for game 2. Managed to survive, but being a survivor isn't enough. Thailand getting the convincing win. So this might just shake out the drafts for the 3rd game. Finally Yuzon doesn't get to go on Farm Fest like he did with Tara in the first game. So thank God for that. he might just fall back to the Tara. Who knows? But Thailand getting that win for themselves means that this series will go to a full 3 game. It's
really unfortunate because if you look at the stats, some of them their participation is 0%.
Because there's only 1 kill. The tower should get 100%.
Which is really unfortunate in many of these situations. Just what can you do? Like, oh, I got 100% participation over 1 kill that happened in the entirety of the game.
With help of the tower.
With help of the tower. Yeah. That's the most disappointing part. But now Team Thailand is actually evened it out 1-1.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is what we want to see in this bootcamp. Despite it not being the grand tournament, the Grand World Cup yet, which is happening in July, there's still a lot of room for them to experiment on different team compositions and to learn about other nations.
Absolutely, and I think this is going to give them a lot of time to really adapt to how each of these teams play. What are their weaknesses? What are their strengths? Things that they can actually work on themselves that they can't get locally.
Okay, no wait, he actually got hit by a thunderclap mid-air. So they just walk in, let's just wait for the projectile to just connect. The homing missile just...
It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. With the right idea in mind, like, I'm gonna get out of here. Nope.
like you just see a random projectile just...
follow him the entire way. But yeah, I think this is definitely what the bootcamp is all about. It's such a good teaser. After watching these games, I'm really excited to see how AWC is going to end up 2018, is going to actually end up here. A lot of these teams are playing really, really well. And if they're currently at this kind of level and at this high level of play, I can't imagine what they're going to bring to AWC.
Yeah, definitely. And so far, it has been one wonderful day. We still have a lot of series coming out after this. I think 2 more. There are still a couple of teams that haven't played, but yes, coming back, Thailand taking out TPE to even out the series. We're going for game 3. We're going into that in a really short while, but meanwhile, if you guys don't know yet, the tickets are for sale. Los Angeles.
Yeah. That's actually really exciting here because if this doesn't tickle your taste buds a little bit, I don't know what will, because a lot of these teams, you can kind of tell like the teams that can kind of separate themselves, that bring their own strategy, but they really know what they're doing.
Yeah, and considering the fact that Arena of Valor hasn't been out for too long,
who's going to be lifting out that trophy at the very end? Because all these regions all here together, it's so exciting.
Yeah, if you're not a fan of traditional sports, you're not a fan of the World Cup in Russia, this is the one for you. The AOV World Cup coming in next month. But right now, I honestly don't know what to expect coming into next series because they have just shown so much over the past 2 games. But I am hoping that they might just shake up the draft a bit more. Considering how Thailand loves to stick with the marksman jungle, maybe
absolutely.
TPE can go with a more engaging, more mobility centric type of team composition, like how we saw with Team Korea.
I think in this particular situation, it does come down to just building a big boy comp, just having a whole bunch of warriors just running around.
Yeah, I think the
looking
Oma,
for the fight.
yeah, I think the Oma in the previous game wasn't really impactful. I would have again preferred Chokna over Oma any day, because this guy, he can disengage. This guy can slow down people. He actually purifies or cleanses out crowd controls periodically. And he doesn't even need damage item. This guy just deals damage on his own.
Yeah, just actually his base damage is just good enough. And I think that in many of these situations, in these particular situations, it becomes difficult to actually like execute well. Especially with Armand, where you don't have a lead, you're not going to be used as the main front line. You're also not going to be used as the main DPS. So you're kind of in this weird state where you kind of stun, but also sort of do damage.
Yeah, and the passive takes too long to come online. Like you want the gut punch every once in a while. Great for you. There's the ultimate, a bit of a mini flash cyclone, but doesn't make you invulnerable. It deals peanut damage. So if you build full damage on Oma, you're not even going to get to stun anyone before you die. So it's just a lose-lose situation.
Exactly. It's kind of like if you are going to play Ormar, you might as well get your teammates to invest in you. And that's something where it's like, it's not even guaranteed that you're going to be like effective.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Tain yet throughout the entire day, which I have been looking forward to seeing at least one of the team pick up. Maybe our domestic region MSP will be the one to grant our wishes, but we still have I think 2 more series, including this one, until we get to the final series of the day between MSP and, if I'm not mistaken, MSP and Team Thailand. Yeah, I actually kind of lost track, but we're gonna get into that anyways at the end of the day. But yeah, I think Tain is a really good support, roaming support for any teams who want to utilize that early lead. Yeah, MSP versus South America. Remember, the Eagle versus the Canary, which is going to be interesting because against South America, a different region on the other side of the globe. We've seen a couple of their own matches. They have different playstyle compared to MSP. So with that being said, we're going to leave that for later. Let's go into picks and bans for the final game of this series between Team Thailand and TPE. Finally, the switch side, TPE on the blue side, TH on the red.
Absolutely, and getting rid of Max, really interesting here. They don't want to sit in farm lane anymore.
So far, Max has a 100% lose rate. Game 1, Thailand lost on Max. Game 2, TPE lost on Max. So they decide, no more Max. Superman taken out, no surprise. I'm not even going to wish for him to go through anymore. But MeMarkz will be banned by TPE. Oh, actually, no, Omen being banned by TPE. MeMarkz still on the table, but we'll see if it goes through. I'm expecting a Xenio ban once more because Xenio has been really troublesome to deal with. But again, this is the last game. They might want to switch up the drafts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would like to see just a double assassin draft if they really wanted to just get the split push on, just go around just killing people. That'd be really interesting to see. Or they can go for the big boy comp where it's just one tank and a whole bunch of warriors just running around. Oh, in your jungle? No problem. Let's fight.
Hey, look, Lubu walks from bot to top and no problem.
No problem whatsoever.
Yeah, and I think Team Vietnam is the only team so far who has the guts to actually go for a Necroth pick. But Lubu out of the picture, so too bad we don't have the Dynasty Warrior in the roster. The last ban being the Teamy, which means okay, Teamy hasn't locked in yet, but I'm expecting it to be Teamy. Yes, it is. So Xenio now going through my apologies. The Malloc going through right now. We'll see if TPE picks that up for themselves.
I hate the fact that Timmy is not spelled as Timmy, because now I can't say Timmy without feeling bad about myself, being that it's actually just spelled T-E-M-E-E.
Yeah, it's a Timmy.
It's really frustrating to say.
I mean, the ultimate is more frustrating. He's a great bro.
He's a great bro.
He's a great bro.
Great pal. Yeah. But let's see what they're actually going to pick up for their first pick. For their team composition, especially with TPE. We've seen Thailand double pick, on the blue side. They double pick, getting their first double pick of the entirety of this series. We're going to see how TPE is actually going to show it. It looks like they're going to go for the Malloc. Very decent choice. I mean, he is just so worth it. He brings everything to the table, no questions there. But what is Thailand actually going to prioritize? Because now they're going to get 2 picks. Does that mean they're going to get double DPS? Or are they going to quickly just lock in Thailand and Lindis jungle? Or even Violet jungle?
There is the Atlas been locked in. I don't think Please don't pick Omega. Yep. The last time we saw an Omega, it was horrendous.
It did not end well.
Yeah, it did not end well whatsoever. But Iron finally being picked up after a couple of failures. Let's see if Thailand can make this work. Thailand most likely is going to go over to TPE, which means Liliana will be available for MeMarkz in the middle lane once more, getting a second chance at the Fox Lady. Seems like TPE wants to go for the Violet once again. We'll see if they lock that in.
I kind of understand why these players actually kind of want to pick Arun for themselves if it is open, because she does percentage health damage, she does magic damage, not to mention, and she's also tanky. She heals off of each of her tamed lion hits, which is kind of interesting. It brings an interesting mechanic, but if she falls behind, she really falls behind. And like there is no saving grace for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now it's just a tease of thank God they did not lock in the Valheim. It did not end well the last time we saw that as well. Same team as the team that played Omega, so it's quite a terrible game for that particular team. But Linda's been locked in for 007 once more. Ryoma for Thailand as well. But we might just finally see a Joker being picked up by TPE. We'll see how they play around this. Will we finally see a Chong now? They still need the support for themselves.
They do need the support. They need somebody who's able to tank as well. So, I mean, Zephys is like,
Oh, yeah,
okay, she'll have the mobility, but I think it kind of forces them to play into a more split pushy composition where they're just looking for picks to catch people out in their jungle.
Yeah, now Arum for the side of Arum and Alice for the side of Thailand is going to be a game changer depending on how the ultimates are used. Do we want to suppress the Violet when you can get onto it, or do you want to suppress the members of TPE that dive you like the Mallow or the Zephys? Where do you place your Hissifits? Is it on top of the Mallow Shock, or is it in the middle to split up the rest of TPE? Now they have one last pick, still lacking on that mid laner. Unless they want to put Arrow mid, I don't think they're going to give up that mid laner. Hovering over the Alistar, quite surprising, but okay. The Flash is more reasonable. Flash against Tulan. I honestly would prefer Flash over Liliana in this case, simply because he has more mobility. He can execute people, and Flash is literally one of the best heroes that you can get against a Violet, especially when the Violet falls behind.
I don't know. I think in this particular situation, I would have rather the Wonder Woman instead of the Flash. In this particular situation, I don't know. It's kind of a 50-50 for me. It's hard to kind of determine whether they actually really want to go look for Flash, but I think they respect TPE to actually deal with them the way they want to be dealt with. They want to TPE easily want to go play for the side lanes, play for these easy picks, go into their jungle, actually look for them, and actually look for these fights if they decide to be aggressive and punish them that way. And I think Thailand also wants to do the exact same thing, where it's like, oh, you want to actually bring it into my jungle? No problem, we're ready to take it.
Yeah, we're gonna fight in the jungle. We have a lion tamer, we have a little Chow, we have a samurai, we have someone who gets extra stat in the brush, so why not?
Yeah.
But in the previous game, I think one of the biggest issue with TPE was that they don't have a proper backline diver to get onto the Lindis and actually kill him off. So Lindis was just free firing left and right. The coaches, finally, this is definitely the last time they're gonna shake hands for a long time as we prepare ourselves and get into game 3. Final game of this best of 3 between Chinese Taipei and Thailand. We'll see if Thailand can bring this back. Will the elephant trample over the bear, or will the bear maul the elephant over?
Well, this is going to be tough. Both teams you can definitely see the respect in both of these teams. They from, oh, I'm just going to walk into it, to, okay, I might walk into your jungle.
Yeah. From oh, I'm just going to tank your tower. I'm going to farm all your lanes.
Going to farm all your lanes to, okay, we actually got to play this game.
Yeah.
Looks like they are going to go for the early invade. Ooh, this is actually going to be interesting here. Whose level 1 is going to be better in this particular situation? I think TPE, because their level 1 is much better.
Oh, okay, now they know the Joker's there. They're just going to fake it. Oh, Cherie shows himself as the Aram. Here comes 4 members from Thailand, immediately showing the status. Really good sunshine onto 2. The trap detonates. Neo gets called out. Will this be a first death? And Cherie gets the first blood. Thailand again swinging when they come out base.
Oh, Moss, that was a beautiful sunshine, landing on 2 members instantaneously, forcing out the flicker, but still being able to get the pick at the very end. Just wow, that was a crazy sunshine.
Again, Joker revealed himself with the killing joke. That is the call for them to be cautious. Thailand was so prepared for that. The members were split up 2 and 2, and when they showed themselves, it was already too late for TP to retreat from that. Benny gets sniped by all 3 instances of uncaged. Not really a good start for the Joker. It's not really a good start for the Joker. Meanwhile, 007 again having a really good time in the jungle. Cherie just babysits him all the way.
Absolutely. The rest of the team now actually kind of a little bit behind. They're mid-lane a little bit behind because they hit the initial engage here. As the rest of the team is trying to distribute the EXP quite evenly amongst each other.
And I like how they're funneling so much resources onto the Violet because the Zephyrs isn't going to the jungle. This guy is trying to go top lane to deal with Remix, but Remix is just winning as a Ryoma early on, which is not a big surprise. Meanwhile, Abyssal Dragon is going to spawn in 5 seconds. We'll see how both these teams work around that objective.
Absolutely, and I really like how these teams are now from not really caring and being very cautious of where the what time the Abyssal Dragon is coming up and actually defending it to I need the Abyssal Dragon right now. We need it to win this game.
Oh, meanwhile, wow. Star gets called out. MeMarkz has to use the flicker away. Moss taking the brunt of the damage. There's a bit of thunderclap onto Alice as TH gets forced back, but the Abyssal Dragon is being sneakily started by 007. Can he take it down in time? No. He will call the attempt off because there's no backup right there, which means TPE now they have a clear window to get on their objective.
And the rest of the team actually is going for the base set here. Alice is going back to base. The rest of the team is rotating back to the top side. Everybody's going to the lane. I think this is actually going to be given over. Wait a minute.
Nope.
TPE doesn't actually know. They don't have the vision, so they could think it's a trap, so they decide not to do it, and this Abyssal Dragon actually lives on.
The Abyssal Dragon is going to survive for now. Let's see if this one can survive longer than the first ever Dragon of the series. You know, Remix just having the time of his life. You can see the Zephyrs being pushed back so far under his own tower. That's not a good sign. Trying to defend as much as he can. They are really funneling all the resources into the jungle Violet. But whether it works out really highly depends on whether TPE can take good fights. So far, Thailand are the one making the better calls.
Absolutely. I think Yuzon is just pretty good at playing Farm Simulator at this point. He's just always in the top lane having to stick by himself. Oh, the fight's actually beginning here.
It's a two-man hissy fit. The flicker has to be, the lightning strike has to be used by Star. Here comes MeMarkz with the super speed, the Mach Punch. Not really landing onto anyone, but it's enough to force TPE back. Will Thailand start on the Abyssal Dragon now? They finally do. Let's see if they can get it for themselves. Wind's coming in, but the trap will detonate under the Abyssal Dragon. They are doing it quite fast. There is the punish available for 007. Cherie also having his coming up, but just gonna zone out Mallow, and the Abyssal Dragon goes over to Team Thailand.
Absolutely. I don't think they realize that if Cherie just walks in an anti-clockwise motion, he can trigger his tame lines quicker.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate there, because I think instead of zoning off Mallow at that point, he could have just easily helped it if he just walked in that anti-clockwise motion. That clockwise motion.
Just walk into Mallow.
I mean, walking into Mallow, I mean, he's not gonna do anything at this point. Even if he does, he would use his ultimate, and at that point, you're kind of out of position. So, it's just a micro thing. But the rest of the team is actually just, this is actually getting very difficult because Yuzon is just struggling to do much here. But the rest of the team...
Remix does not have the flicker, uses the ultimate to heal himself out of the pinwheel, brings it to safety. No, one last tactical roll.
That was so
Ryoma drops down now. 007 to the rescue. Can he defend the tower against 3 members? Gonna make it 4 once Tulan arrives. TP gonna get the first tower of the day, but here comes the engage. Hits the fit. Benny gets stunned up by a really well played sunshine. Here comes MeMarkz with the Mach Punch. Just punches through the Joker. The villain gets dropped down. 1 kill for Thailand. Can they get more? Star has to run away. Here comes Cyclone. The lightning strike brings him to safety. They're still going for it with the super speed. 007 once more takes down Star. Here comes Yuzon with that from above. Lands onto Alice. 007 still really safe. Doing a lot of damage. Here comes Sunshine. Lands onto the Zephyrs. A lot of damage coming in from the Lindis. Zephyrs goes right back. Doesn't take Lindis down, and Thailand gets 1 more kill for themselves. Here comes the snare. The damage disperses, and Mallow just dies to his own tower.
Now, that's how you use that ultimate. That's how you use it. Right under your turret. Make sure you're just by yourself. Nobody change the factors and absorb that damage. Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, and Benny.
Oh, Benny here.
Ultimate, yeah, that goes down. Killing Joke does not get the fully channel. But 007 gets killed off by the Joker, so that is a constellation prize for TPE. But they just lost 5 kills immediately due to that really small skirmish. They're going to lose a tower. MeMarkz still there as the flash. There's a disengaged friendship being used by Alice to bring Thailand to safety. And now Thailand are in the lead.
The rest of the team just taking their time here. In position, sees that the might buff is being taken away, realizes that they're on the top side of the map, but continues to make his way down towards clearing that mid lane, and then eventually off the Abyssal Dragon.
Now, the Abyssal Dragon, second one has spawned. You see The rest of TPE trying to do as much damage as they can to Flash. But Flash should be safe. He has super speed. Spirit Sentinel going over to, I think going over to Neil. Not really sure where that buff went to, but Thailand just playing around the bot side for now. Going for a bit of invade. You can see 007's damage just building up really quickly. Now they're going for the second Abyssal Dragon. They should be able to get it for themselves. Trap spots out the Joker, the Uncaged just to zone him out. Punish should come true, and yes, Abyssal Dragon goes over to Thailand.
Really good use of the Uncaged there, just to zone the space out and really just control the area to pick off the Abyssal Dragon, because that was just the only way they could actually get in there. And with so much area cover, it becomes real difficult. Oh, wait a minute!
They engage on the win. The shot gets used. The Uncaged doesn't
real
connect.
Smart. Yeah, that's smart.
Win survives, and now TPE they want to go for the second tower in top lane. There's a lot of damage, sieging potential coming in from TPE. They should be able to get that for themselves. Meanwhile, the bot side, the snare gets used on to win. Cherie couldn't tank anymore. Now they want to take down the Mallet. Uncaged comes through, the Lion mauls him down. And TA should be able to get the first tower in the bot lane.
Bot lane tower is going to be going down. The rest of the team looks like they're going to be responding to the top side. No minions push down mid, so they are going to abuse the amount of minions they have on the top side of the map and actually push forward. They see the bot side is already gone. The wave has already crashed down to the bot, into the bot wave, and they realize that, oh, they're going for the rotation. We got to back off now. There's no point actually staying around. And it looks like they have. Oh man, Boss has not missed any of these just yet. He has not missed any of these friendships.
Yeah, this guy. It's just so accurate. He predicts all the movements of TPE. So now Thailand is just focusing their attention on the middle lane. They want that turret down. So far, TPE has been taking first tower, and it's always the middle tower of Thailand from Thailand's side for the past 2 games. Thailand now wanting to turn that around, getting themselves the lead, at least map control for the very first time in this final game. Let's see if they can pull this off. There is the trap from Linus to spawn out the rest of TPE.
Yeah, as TPE just slowly moving their way, rotating around the mid side. They need to clear that wave again. Now this is becoming a
Wiz gets down a hesitate to zone out the rest of TPE. Wiz dropping super low. Wiz uses the shock to get out last minute. Killing joke at Thunderbird doesn't take down MeMarkz. But the Mana will survive, start taking a lot of damage from 007. Realizes that he cannot fight that. He will back off as well.
It was good effort there. Absolutely really good effort. I can't wait to see this real quick. They pull the menu back up just to double check on what items they do have on them as of right now. I mean, 18k to 23k. I mean, somebody's got to have some kind of components ready.
Yep, definitely. And yep, which meant that there is the component. Actually, Mail of Pain as the first core item for Cherie. This, yeah, he just wants you to kill yourself.
Yeah, definitely. The reflect damage is going to be so.
Moss
wait a minute.
Gets called out. They want the little girl. They will get the little girl. Benny will take
Wait, they're
down
still going to go with the fight.
But they're still going to go on. Here comes the counter engage. Was it the right choice? Here comes the Cyclone. Wiz uses the shock, but he's going to get vacuumed back by the Flash Ultimate. 007 takes down the Matter. 1-for-1 so far. The Uncaged lands onto Star, but no follow-up from Thailand. It's a fair trade for both teams, but 007 once more. This guy is not letting up. He sees Yuzon, but I don't think he can take Yuzon. Nope, they're going to go onto the top lane instead.
And now Cherie just picking up kills instead of with MeMarkz.
Oh, here comes MeMarkz. Super speed, Uncaged. Where's the mech punch?
Oh my goodness! The
boom! 007 kills off Benny again. Cherie now dropping low. There's Violet with all the tumble. He has all the Thunderbolt. Gets blocked by 007. He is the hero after all. And now no refund for the Tulan, as Thailand works on the middle lane tower for a bit, dealing a bit of chip damage while the rest of TPE scrambles to defend their structure.
Yeah, now they're rotating into the bot side. They already have a wave moving up. Win's kind of in trouble here, but the rest of the team is already done countering it. He's coming in for the counter guy. On the top side, they actually give up on it as the rest of the team members are going in. Malik has successfully pushed out the wave and cleared it up, allowing his team to have some breathing room, but
Yuzon tries to engage onto MeMarkz, but cannot achieve much. There is Lindis running in with all the damage. Here comes Death from above just to disable Lindis for a while, but the rest of Thailand are coming in. Here comes the Ungage. There's the Hissy Fit. A lot of damage. Here comes the Cyclone from Flash. The Flicker. He vacuums 2 people into the center, but it's enough to sway TPE. Thailand doesn't even want to go for the tower. They want more blood. Top lane is their focus right now, as they will start this very slow siege trap being laid down to zone out the rest of TPE. MeMarkz with the super speed. Yuzon the only one in the vicinity to defend his structure, but I don't think the structure can last long. The mid one goes down. Top tier 2 tower will fall as well, and TH are really just in the lead right now.
Yeah, and I mean, Thailand is just doing such
yeah.
oh my goodness.
Oh my, yeah, okay. There's nothing much to be said about that. 2 kills going over to TH once again. This time Dark Slayer is available, but I don't think it matters to them anymore. Here comes MeMarkz again. Mag punch, new so much damage. Cyclone, tactical roll, gets drag back with the vacuum. And he goes down. Anyways, that's a really good Sunshine prediction into his defeat. Yuzon finds himself in the best spot. Double kill for the Flash. And oh my goodness, Mars is on fire.
Oh my goodness, that's just unfair. And now I'm thinking about it, it's just, man, what can you do in these situations? I'm gonna get just getting denied by Moss every single time. But now Neil finally getting the Sanctity for himself. I don't think it's gonna be enough for the rest of his team, who've already got 3 members. All their DPS is doing such an amazing job here, and Ryoma is doing a great job split pushing and getting people off with that pinwheel.
This guy predicts the death from above. Predicts the death. Like what other things can Moss not be able to accomplish? Here comes Wins with a 3-man shock, but I don't think it's a good engage. He's taking too much damage. The ultimate comes in from the Ryoma and the Flash. Flash gets caught out. Finally a trade kill going over TPE, but it's not enough. TPE still need to do way more than that to keep themselves alive. There is the Sunshine onto 2, uncaged. Again, lands onto everyone. Onslaught for the Aram, and 2 members go down instantly for TPE. That is going to be a third. 4 members down right now. Thailand only lose 1 in the process. Double kill for 007. TPE now at the back foot. 10 more seconds until Meta comes back. But I think Thailand is going to go for the core regardless. The minion wave are pouring in. One last uncaged. They want the core. Thailand are turning this around. Star desperation play, but he is not the star this time. He drops, and Thailand sweeps TPE in this 2-1 reverse victory.
Oh my goodness, and congratulations to Thailand being able to pick up TPE in this amazing series, winning 2-1 in a reverse sweep after a successful, very, very long Game 1, coming back into it and being decisive and effective on Lindis for 2 games straight.
Exactly, and during Game 1, it felt like both teams are on equal ground. Feels like it's a harsh tug of war for both Thailand and Chinese Taipei. Game 2 rolled around, Thailand just showed that they're way better, and then there's Game 3. 2 consecutive decisive victories for Thailand. They just showed that Game 1 was a warm-up, Game 2 and Game 3 was what matters.
Absolutely, and it's just so difficult for them. It's honestly what a great show, great showmanship, great sportsmanship as well. These players really put their heart and soul, especially in this game, just playing as best as they can. I think Thailand here, it's easy to say Thailand has the stamina. They can deal with the amount of games and the length of it, because you can definitely see that Taipei definitely fell off their game towards the end there, making a lot more mistakes, being a little less sharp. And that was really what made the difference here. And I think Thailand, they just have that edge in stamina.
Yeah, definitely. And it's about the mental fortitude. I think after the first game, TPE, they invested so much into the first game, just trying so hard to crack Thailand's base, and the fact that their opponent managed to hold on for so long is also a bit kind of a mental stress on Chinese Taipei, because right now they understand that Thailand is not a pushover, and Thailand just showed that in the second game. I think that kind of demoralized TPE.
Absolutely, it's just such a struggle, and you definitely have to appreciate what these guys have brought to the table here.
I think if you encounter someone like Moss who just predicts every move, at one point he's gonna break you.
Yeah. Honestly, that's one of those things that really, that's a tilter. Like they've played and replayed for so long in the first game that he could predict people by the third game.
Oh yeah.
That's how much he's adapted.
This improvement.
Yes.
Like okay, first game he's been trying out all the hooks and all. Realizes the hook goes through 4 members.
Never again.
Never again. Let's go for the Alice. Like you cannot miss with Sunshine.
Absolutely, but Sunshine is just but so effective the way he played that. That level 1 was so good. He got 2 people with the Sunshine.
Oh yes.
And I think that just instantly just ended it for them. Having to blow. It's either they die or they blow off both their talents.
And I'm surprised that TP actually attempted to go for the early invade despite knowing that Thailand has a better level 1 fight, especially in the jungle where Lindis excels and they have better ambush opportunities. They have Sunshine.
Honestly, it all came down to the Sunshine, whether that Sunshine hit or not. If it missed, I definitely think that Taipei could easily just walk through them.
Yeah, but it's also super risky because Chinese Taipei gave away their vision the moment they used the killing joke. Yeah. So that was a big giveaway, and all Thailand needed was just Moss to land a magical sunshine.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. All right, we're gonna go on a short break. I definitely think we need it, but hopefully you guys can go home. We'll go. Those at home, just relax.
Yeah, really.
Get a
Take
drink,
a break.
Take a break. Clear off until we get ready for the next game. My name is Fatal 5-Way. This is Husky co-casting with me, and we're gonna see you in the next game.